I'm Misty Curreli. I'm an instructor of sociology at the Eastern Campus of Suffolk County Community College. I'm originally from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and I moved to Long Island to pursue my PhD in sociology at Stony Brook University. I think I've chosen a career in education because I was always really compelled to learn. As a young person, I took a lot of classes and I consider myself a professional student. Even though I've completed my PhD, I can't imagine that I'll stop taking classes now. I've had some really great mentors and advisors, professors over the years that have showed me the really innovative ways to be a teacher, and I enjoy pursuing those ideas, trying to make learning exciting and feel close to home so that there's some practical information that students can take with them into the world. I had a great professor in my master's program who taught undergraduates, and he would always lead class by saying, sociology makes ordinary things in our lives extraordinary. And I always sort of carry that notion with me because sociology is about the ins and outs of our everyday lives, and it's really putting a spotlight on the sort of micro processes that we're going through, understanding how our culture influences us to make the decisions that we make, and understanding sort of the context of our culture in how we conduct our lives. One thing that I feel is really important for my students is to come away with from my courses knowing a little bit more about social research, statistics that we see in the news and on billboards and on the internet, and to understand further how that research happens. What's the process by which people come to those outcomes? So I try to break down the process of research and have them be a little bit more critical in analyzing and evaluating what research is, if it's credible, and if the method really matches what the outcome is, so that they can be more literate in this understanding, so that even if they're not creating the research themselves, that they can be consumers of research in smart ways. One of the lessons that comes out of sociology courses that I believe is really important is the lesson on ethnocentrism. And within this lesson, I try to emphasize that different isn't necessarily bad or weird or gross, but that different is different. And often if we take the extra steps to understand, for example, if we're talking about a different culture and it's something that we're unfamiliar with, if we take steps to understand how that culture is different, what the historical and social context is that created that difference in culture, sometimes we can create some commonality or some understanding that wouldn't initially be there. So I try to teach my students to pause for a moment, to take those extra steps to understand different cultures. It doesn't mean that we always have to agree, that we're all going to have one big group hug, but that in the end we might have a little bit more of an understanding and compassion and empathy for people of different cultures. One thing that people may not know, that aside from being a professor here at Suffolk, for the past 10 or so years I've been an instructor of yoga. So I spend a good deal of time outside of Suffolk in the yoga world. I also enjoy taking lessons on Vedic chanting and try to incorporate breathing and meditation practices into my own life. And in small ways, I feel that I can bring some of these lessons into the classroom as well. I think Suffolk is a special place because basically everybody I know has a connection to Suffolk in some way, shape, or form. People have taken classes here or work here. So I think Suffolk serves a very special function in our community, and it serves to educate people from all sorts of backgrounds. We have a very diverse population at Suffolk, and I think that makes us pretty special. Here on our Eastern campus, we have a smaller population than the other campuses, which I think enhances our ability to have a really close-knit community. We see our students every day back and forth between the buildings, and we strike up a lot of conversations outside of the classroom as well as inside of the classroom. And I think that really enhances, in many ways, the way that we take our education on the road.